My name is Reverend Melissa Mantha, and I thank you for joining us at this very difficult time for you and for the world. Sun Tzu said, in the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. No matter our current circumstances, we all have the opportunity to stretch ourselves and move beyond our current vision for ourselves and our planet. We offer you G.R.O.W, grief, relief, one world. This collection of Interfaith Ministers from the School of Sacred Ministries from Doylestown, Pennsylvania, has virtually come together to create a ritual for your use. We believe that it will give you, your family, and your friends that opportunity to process grief and grow. For over 20 years, we have been there for countless people in person, for their weddings, baby blessings, memorial services, Sunday celebrations, and more. No longer being able to serve in person when overwhelming loss is occurring due to changes completely beyond our control is heartbreaking for all of us. We wish so much to be present and physically there for you to help ease the burden and pain. Please partake of our interfaith offering to you and share it with your community. Get creative in your virtual abilities to connect to family and friends, using the ritual as your basis and vehicle to provide comfort, peace, and healing. All that we ask of you in return is to pay it forward by donating to your favorite charities, doing random acts of kindness, or dedicating your current supportive services for the healing of the world. In the words of Lord Byron, "So we'll go no more a-roving so late into the night. Though the heart be still as loving and the moon be still as bright. For the sword outwears its sheath, and the soul wears out the breast, and the heart must pause to breathe, and love itself have rest. Though the night was made for loving, and the day returns too soon, yet we'll go no more roving by the light of the moon." Gathering our loving hearts together, we virtually begin the ceremony with Reverend Tom Cormier from Easton, Pennsylvania, who will be creating our sacred space.
I call upon the powers of the East, the divine breath blowing upon the embers to light the spark of creativity. I call upon the powers of the South, the flaming force of desire that transforms our inspiration into dreams. I call upon the powers of the West, the sacred wells of tradition giving form to our dreams. I call upon the powers of the North, the sacred space where the distant dreams of our innermost souls can manifest. I call upon the powers of the center, the divine spirit manifesting in the physical world. May our dreams so manifest. We now stand between the worlds in a place that is no place, in a time that is no time, where the realm of spirit and physical manifest. And now, here's the Reverend Susan Manning with some thoughts for us.
In this section, we would like to provide some tools to help deal with the grief that many people are experiencing due to the coronavirus. Hello, I am Reverend Susan Manning. Without the ability to actually have a funeral for our loved ones, we lose, especially since the beginning of 2020, for whatever reason. We find that we still need to have a way to process our own mental thoughts and emotional feelings that naturally accompany the loss of a loved one. Processing of grief takes a good long time. And it usually will take approximately a year. But now we are also left to our own devices to figure out how to create that which the experience of a funeral provides. We may have never realized what a funeral offers us in terms of closure in our ability to grieve. On top of that, many of us feel robbed of the ability to be bedside, to hold their hand while they transition from this life. That can be heartbreaking. Many of us can find a short ritual or a ceremony of lighting a candle, playing their or our favorite music, saying a prayer or a poem. But sometimes that is not as helpful as the process as we experience at a funeral or a wake or a memorial of your design or that of your religion. So how do we grieve together with other family members and friends and also create a celebration of this person's life? For those who have computers and iPads and or the amazing little handheld computer machine we call cell phones, Skype or Zoom, and probably others, are very useful and somewhat satisfying ways to gather with family and friends all at once to perform a memorial celebration of life. One of the only things that we cannot experience through this may be a hug. But you can take as long as you want to share stories and reflections about our connection to this person. Fun stories, little known stories, stories of happy times. Speaking of hugs, virtual or not, we do have additional possibilities we may find to be helpful in this intense grieving process. Many meditations and visualizations can be a way to sit with our loved one and have a conversation and let them know all the things we want to let them know. And at the same time, they give us physical, emotional, and mental calm and solace. Here are a few suggestions I have found helpful. 1, sit quietly and visualize a party or an event where all of your family and friends are in attendance. And you can talk, all of you, to this person. The location could be a beach, a meadow, a large room or small. And once you establish such a place, you can visit it again whenever you like. I used to visit a place, in my mind, in a wooded area with a lovely pond with water lilies and some comfy seating. 2, if you tend to be frustrated with visualizations, sitting quietly with a journal book, a copybook, even the back of an envelope, you can begin to write down all of your feelings and the things you want to convey to your loved one. This is also something you can revisit from time to time when the feeling strikes you, and especially if you are feeling you cannot find your calm center. Be sure to allow yourself to cry whenever you need to. It is a very natural and necessary part of this intense grieving process. And luckily, these feelings are not as intense forever. And also remember that it is your grieving process. And you do not have to do it like anyone else, nor do they need to do it like you do. May we honor our own grief and that process for everyone else. It is a growth process also. And now we go to Reverend Tom Cormier, who will walk us through a ritual and readings you can use to assist you further in this deep grief time. Thank you.
As a group of interfaith ministers, we recognize one source that has many names. While I will use God to represent that source, you may replace that with the name you recognize for the highest spiritual source you hold. Some thoughts and readings. We are incarnate drops of the ocean of God, suffering from the illusion we are separate. We are literally the children of God, spiritual beings having a physical experience. Death is but a shedding of the limited physical form to once again exist in the divine presence in our glory body. Death is a liberation of the spirit. Our loved one being reunited with the divine is still aware of those they have left behind, of our thoughts and our prayers for them. For those left behind, even with this view of death, loss and grief are real. While we know our loved one is out of pain, reunited with ancestors and the divine, our loss is real. There is a gap, a hole in our hearts that over time we learn to live with. Death is nothing at all. Death is nothing at all. I have only slipped away into the next room. I am I, and you are you. Whatever we were to each other, that we still are. Call me by my old familiar name. Speak to me in the easy way which you always used. Put no difference in your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without effect, without a trace of shadow on it. Life means all that it ever meant. It is the same as it ever was. There is unbroken continuity. There is absolute and unbroken continuity. What is this death but a negligible accident? Why should I be out of mind because I am out of sight? I am waiting for you, for an interval, somewhere very near, just around the corner, all is well. Leaving the party. I used to think, loving life so greatly, that to die would be like leaving the party before the end. Now I know that the party is really happening somewhere else. That the light, the music, escaping in snatches to make the pulse beat and the tempo quicken, come from a long way away. And I know too that when I get there, the music will never end. Grief, I've learned, is really just love. It is all the love that you want to give but cannot. All that unspent love gathers in the corner of your eyes, the lump in your throat, in the hollow part of your chest. Grief is just love with no place to go. The following is a technique that can be used to connect with a loved one that you were not able to be with at the time of their death. To say those things that may have been left unsaid. They will be aware even if we may not be able to perceive their response. You will need to set a chair in front of you. If possible, place a picture and or some token, a piece of clothing, a spritz of their favorite scent, etc., of the person you are contacting on the chair. If it was a person in your immediate household, you may do this in their room if practical. At this point, you may pause the video to set things up or wait to hear the entire piece, and if it feels right, set things up and return to this point in the video. You will want to sit comfortably, feet flat on the floor. If you are isolating with family, you may do this as a family, sitting in an arc around the chair of the loved one being honored. Reach up with your mind and connect to the celestial. Visualize the divine white light flowing down and entering the top of your head, passing through your body, and going into the earth to ground you. Feel the warm, healing, red-orange light of Mother Earth coming up and uniting with the celestial light to surround you in a healing and protective orb of pink light, the light of universal love. Now you are ready to visualize the loved one that you have lost. You may do this with eyes open or closed, whichever works best for you. See them sitting in front of you. Look at their picture to help start the visualization. Remember their sound, tone of their voice. Call their name 3 times, asking them to join you. Now speak to them as if they are physically in front of you. They are spiritually attuned to you and will hear you. Say anything and everything you need to say to them. When you have finished, you may just sit for a time in their presence. You may even receive a message. There is no need to rush this. If doing this as family, once everyone has spoken their piece to the loved one, share stories and memories as you would have at a memorial gathering. When ready to end the session, bid them farewell as you would have if alive and leaving your presence. Say a prayer of thanks to God and release the connections to the celestial and earth energies. I would like to share a personal experience. My mother died last August, and many of us were able to visit in the days before she died. I have a brother that lives in the South and a sister that lives in England that were not able to visit before she died. My brother shared that a day or so after her death, he was thinking of her, and just then, a song with her name came on the radio. In a similar way, my sister experienced a very mom moment while thinking of her. The two that could not say goodbye in person received messages from her. It doesn't happen to everyone, but to some. Sometimes it's a song or a sign that reminds us of them as we are thinking of them. It may be a whiff of their favorite scent. They say pennies from heaven, finding a penny when thinking of them. Their favorite bird or some other animal that you associate with them while thinking of them. All are signs. If you are separated from family at this time, think about setting up a Zoom meeting with family to share memories of your loved one. These memories may bring a range of emotion. I always tell folks at times like these, cry when you need to, laugh when you can. Both are healing. Blessings. And now we turn it over to Reverend Dana Jefferson.
Please join me in the following responsive prayer offered for each individual's highest good. As I begin, please embrace an attitude of prayer that is comfortable for you. The response for each prayer is, thanks for hearing our prayer. We pray for the healing of everyone dealing with illness, whether physical or emotional, and especially those not able to access appropriate care.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray for the souls of all those who have recently lost their lives, especially those who lost their life in service to others.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray for comfort and solace for all those who have recently lost loved ones, especially for those who've not been able to attend a formal service.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray for anyone who has died without the comfort of their loved ones present, and for those not able to be with their loved ones in their final hours.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray for all those dealing with economic challenges, whether it be loss of a job or a business, or a loss in savings or retirement accounts.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
And we pray for all those dealing with fear or anxiety because of current conditions or from worry about the future.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray for all those essential individuals putting themselves in potential jeopardy to ensure that all of us have protection, medical care, food, transportation, and other necessary services.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray for all those working and living in 24/7 facilities that are at increased risk.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray for all those dealing with emergency situations such as fires, flooding, earthquakes, and tornadoes, and for those dealing with the aftermath of those emergencies.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray that we use these extraordinary times to help us discover what is most important to us in our lives.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray that we do not succumb to false or fear-based ideas or violence.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray for unity and peace for all the peoples of the world, and that those in authority make decisions in the people's best interest.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray for families in stressful situations, including those confined in small places with young children, those having to be replacement school teachers, and those dealing with increased levels of domestic abuse.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray for all those with sadness in their hearts for missing or downgrading important life milestones, such as weddings and graduations.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray that we preserve and appropriately use all of the bountiful fruits of the earth so that none go hungry, giving special thanks to family farms that may be suffering.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray for the gifts of nature and for the wisdom and will to conserve those gifts.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray for the gifts of compassion and unselfishness, that we may be of service to others with an open and loving heart.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray for the strength and confidence required to handle all that life may put in our way.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We pray for all those who are lonely, those in pain, and those unable to rest.
Thanks for hearing our prayer.
We give thanks for all the blessings in our lives, the beauty of nature, the food in our bellies, the love and special time spent with friends and family, the ability to connect with each other in new and innovative ways, the rising of the sun each morning, the healing, if only temporary, of the planet as we decrease our carbon footprint, and the opportunity to create a new normal where we all live in abundance and peace. We give thanks for all. Now, please allow the peace and comfort of these prayers to permeate your body. Visualize and sense a wave of calm relaxation just cascading throughout. Enjoy this moment of peace as you begin to focus on the regularity of your breath, giving thanks for your ability to breathe, and remain in this place of calm relaxation as you move your attention to the words of the Reverend Wendy Ellsworth.
I'm going to share a breathing meditation with you that I call 7 pillars of transformation. The pillars I have identified are the frequencies of love, compassion, joy, gratitude, faith, hope, and trust. We are all living through an intense period of stress and uncertainty that has brought up many feelings of fear, doubt, despair, sadness, depression, and anxiety. All of these negative feelings suppress our immune system and block the light of the divine that wants to flow through us and into Mother Earth. The world has hit a pause button. We are being asked to stop our normal lives and take a collective time out to readjust our priorities and to look within ourselves for self-empowerment. We are not separate from the whole. We are connected to the whole through the sacred breath of life, the breath of God, the infinite source of all possibilities. When we are born, life begins with the first in-breath, and when we die, we depart on the final out-breath. In between these two bookends, each breath we take is not only how we stay alive, but a link to divine source. We can use our breath as a meditation to transform our darkness into light, our negative thoughts and feelings into positive emotions that will bring more happiness into our lives. I will guide you in this process. You may want to have a piece of paper or journal and a pen beside you to use when the meditation is complete. For this meditation, please find a comfortable place to sit, feet on the floor, and bring yourself into this moment now. We will begin by closing our eyes and focusing on the breath. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a few seconds, then slowly let it out. Repeat this 2 more times. On the next in-breath, bring golden light energy from above the top of your head down to your heart, releasing it slowly from your heart on the out-breath. Feel this frequency of golden light pulsating and opening your heart as you breathe it in and out, relaxing you and bringing a sense of calmness into your whole being. Repeat this 2 more times. Breathe in golden light, bring it to your heart, breathe out golden light. Staying focused on the breath, we will begin to bring in the 7 pillars of transformation on the river of light that is flowing from above the top of your head into your heart and out into the world. We will start with the frequency of love. Breathing in love, bringing it to your heart, and releasing it with the out-breath. Repeat this 2 more times, breathing in love, breathing out love. Feel the rhythm of your breath syncing with the energetic vibration of the frequency of love. The second pillar is the frequency of compassion. Breathe this into your heart on the in-breath and release it into the world on the out-breath. Repeat this 2 more times, breathing in compassion, breathing out compassion. Feel the rhythm of your breath syncing with the energetic vibration of the frequency of compassion for all beings. The third pillar is the frequency of joy. Breathe this into your heart on the in-breath and release it into the world on the out-breath. Repeat this 2 more times, breathing in joy, breathing out joy. Feel the rhythm of your breath syncing with the energetic vibration of the frequency of joy. The fourth pillar is the frequency of gratitude. Breathe this into your heart on the in-breath and release it into the world on the out-breath. Repeat this 2 more times, breathing in gratitude, breathing out gratitude. Feel the rhythm of your breath syncing with the energetic vibration of gratitude for all the blessings of your life. The fifth pillar is the frequency of faith. Breathe this into your heart on the in-breath and release it into the world on the out-breath. Repeat this 2 more times, breathing in faith, breathing out faith. Feel the rhythm of your breath syncing with the energetic vibration of the frequency of faith in a higher power that will always guide you. The sixth pillar is the frequency of hope. Breathe this into your heart on the in-breath and release it into the world on the out-breath. Repeat this 2 more times, breathing in hope, breathing out hope. Feel the rhythm of your breath syncing with the energetic vibration of the frequency of hope. The seventh pillar is the frequency of trust. Breathe this into your heart on the in-breath and release it into the world on the out-breath. Repeat this 2 more times, breathing in trust, breathing out trust. Feel the rhythm of your breath syncing with the energetic vibration of the frequency of trust. Trust that you are in the right place at the right moment now, that you are not alone, that you are surrounded by divine light that is breathing with you and through you. Gently bring your attention back into the room and open your eyes. Do you feel an internal shift to a place of greater peace and calmness? You can repeat this meditation on your own at any time, and I suggest you write down any insights that you have been given through this process. Namaste. And now we go to Yosemite, California, where Reverend Sharon Whitefawn will share her healing drum celebration with us.
Thank you, Reverend Wendy Ellsworth. We are moving into the healing drum celebration, so be sure to clear some space in your surroundings for a safe area to freely move about. Using your own percussion instruments is encouraged, but of course you don't need to have one. You can clap your hands, you can pat your thighs, you can tap your toes, dance, sway, anything that you might get inspired to do. During this part of the ceremony, we will be moving physically and energetically. Once there is a release of the old emotions, whether it's grief or frustration or sadness or anger or fear or negativity, whatever it is, there will be a void where that old energy once resided. This newly vacant space needs to be consciously filled with life-affirming positivity. Otherwise, that old stuff may potentially backslide into the internal space and return to the body, to the mind, or to the heart. We release heaviness and refill it with lightness. The purpose of this aspect of the ritual is to consciously fill that void with positivity. Fill it with hope, with healing, with joy. While a funeral is typically sad, it is also a celebration of life. This part of our ritual is for celebrating our loved ones, the journey of the souls that we know, as well as the journey of the souls we do not know. To maintain balance in life, there must be both, light and dark, joy and sorrow, life and death. And this is from Khalil Gibran. You would know the secret of death, but how shall you find it unless you seek it in the heart of life? If you would indeed behold the spirit of death, open your heart wide unto the body of life. For life and death are one, even as the river and the sea are one. During this drumming ritual, you may move about however you wish, sitting, standing, dancing, clapping, rocking, whatever you prefer. Just focusing on the breath is okay too. All of these methods are helpful in moving energy. There's no right way and there's no wrong way. Just imagine the beat of the drum connecting to the rhythm of your own healing heart. Permit yourself to accept whatever comes up, emotionally, spiritually, physically. If you feel the need to cry, then cry. If you desire to dance, then dance. If you laugh, you laugh. Simply tapping your fingers or toes is perfect too. Do what comes naturally and intuitively. Do it with self-compassion. Do it with self-love and self-acceptance. Make an attempt to physically move in some way, big or small, even the lungs, with just conscious breathing. The intention is to physically release energy that needs to move out of the body and make room for the new, the positive. So the song I'm going to sing comes to me from my sweat leader, and it came to him from Yosemite, from the spirits and the ancestors of the land of the Awanichi people. So I ask permission of the ancestors of this land to share this song today. It is a journey song. Move around. Think about love, compassion. Fill that space with joy, with gratitude. Breathe, move, let it flow. Out with the old, in with the new. Aho. And now back to Reverend Tom Cormier to close our circle.
I thank the powers of the center. We step back from the sacred space into the physical world, but we are spirits manifesting in the physical world, and so carry the mystery within ourselves. I thank the powers of the north. We root our dreams into the physical world so that they will have strength. I thank the powers of the west. We nurture our dreams from the wellspring of our souls. I thank the powers of the south, the force that causes us to manifest our dreams in the physical world. I thank the powers of the east, the wisdom to know when to let go of our dreams so that they may become shining beacons to inspire others. The circle is open, but never broken. Now I turn it back to Reverend Melissa Mantha with some closing words.
We, the Interfaith Ministers from the School of Sacred Ministries, are forever grateful to share our G.R.O.W ritual with you. And ours are full of peace, joy, and well-being. Together we can unite and heal the world. We now take a moment to dedicate our efforts here and sending loving kindness out into the world. Please close your eyes and imagine from deep within your heart a seed. In this seed is a continuous and boundless flow of love and healing. See the seed open into a flower from within. Its center shoot countless rays of light. See the rays move in a sunburst pattern away from your form, reaching countless people in the world and beyond. When each ray of light reaches a person, see it transform into exactly what they need. A loving word, a hug, a kind letter, a vase of beautiful flowers, food and water, an ice pack, a foot rub, the medicine that saves, the machine that breathes, the vaccine that ends disease, the clean air that allows a full breath, and so much more. Sitting in silence, let's see the countless ways we can send loving kindness to others everywhere. Please open your eyes. John Lennon said, "Peace is not something you wish for. It's something you make, something you do, something you are, and something you give away." Make us all instruments of peace, love, and healing as our world shifts and evolves. May it be so. Thank you.
want to do a video like that with ground, this is
Ground control.
I'm going to have that playing in the background while I'm doing all this stuff. This thing will be fun. You might see that on YouTube.
I will shorten it up. Easy peasy.
Since Tom says you're rapping it,
Let's get on with it.
So let's get the rhythm there. Right?
I wish I was a better rapper. Is that all
What
the-
hilarious outtakes are you talking about?
When
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like
all do that.
Oh!
Exactly.
We've all been recorded.